there. It hasn't dried as quick as we might have expected it to. So MotoGP, are we going to see a fairly slow start to this?
I would expect so. In the meantime, Keith, enjoy a rather wonderful view of some classic English countryside and architecture.
That must be down towards Stowe.
It must be, mustn't it?
Yeah, Stowe School, of course, down that end of the track in Buckinghamshire. This place, by the masses anywhere, it will be here as well.
Absolutely.
Tyre allocations, difficult yesterday. The soft tyre was definitely the quicker one, but a lot of mileage being done on the hard tyre by the Yamahas and the Hondas.
The soft seemed to be a one-lap wonder.
It really did as well. It was a fast tyre, but like you say, a lot of work doing on the hard tyre. Track looked in very good condition yesterday. Better than I thought it would be. I wonder, because of course there's been a lot of bleating about getting this place resurfaced, which is millions and millions of pounds. And you've got to hope that the weather stays in for Silverstone. They deserve a good one, don't they, really?
Absolutely. After the circuit of Wales and all the rest of it, Keith, a bit of stability for this place would, and a good crowd would be, as you say, what they deserve.
There's the tyre situation. Red Bull Ring, which incidentally, I have to just pick that up a bit. What I said yesterday about, well, they must have done a lot of miles with Kallio around there. Not recently, they haven't. He hasn't done a lot of... I don't know why that is, because KTM are Austrian, Red Bull Ring's there, da-da-da. You would think that that would be their main test track. But no, they haven't done as much mileage there as I thought they might have done. So Kallio, that result of his was even more than remarkable.
Yeah, I mean, the bike likes the track. No long corners, that's what we're told. It's Ducati-esque in its dislike of turning in the middle of long corners. But it was still, what was it, under 10 seconds from the winner, Mika Kallio.
Pretty impressive. KTM, and they were performing yesterday as well. Pol Espargaro, 7th after the 2 tests yesterday, which I think is outstanding.
Indeed.
Jackass, we're looking at.
Off to Pramac next year.
Yeah, the man taking his place. That's Mark VDS, Tom Luthi. How about that? Signed and settled. 2
interesting transfers there.
Morbidelli and...
2
Tom
good
Luthi
rookies,
side
interesting rookies.
Well, I mean, I think Tech 3 again have been innovators of rookies, haven't they?
Yeah.
With taking the 2 they did into the Tech 3 M1 Yamaha squad, Zarco and Folger.
Here's Jonas.
Yeah, I spoke to Hervé Poncharal up on the Day of Champions stage on Thursday, and he was just lucid as ever. I love the fact you get an honest answer from the Frenchman, don't you, regarding he wanted Folger for some time.
Yes, yeah, he's always been a fan.
He got him, but it was this man, Zarco, teammate too, of course, that has really, really impressed us this year.
It's things we thought weren't going to happen. You know, we thought, well, Hervé wanted to get, there's Stevie Blackwell, and there's the markings. The red box you stop in, the green box, your other bike is rear wheel is parked in that box, almost like
90
that.
degrees, yeah, it is a... Oh, there's a shot for you.
Stevie Blackburn.
He's been around a long time.
Just a bit. And there, as you can see, you park your front wheel of your incoming bike in the red box, and your outgoing bike is back wheel in that green box.
You can see where the recipe is, though, can't you? You're still coming in at 60 k's. It's okay. You've got to turn right fairly sharply, so you've got to be. Yeah, but
there's a problem.
Well, the problem you have with that is, you know, yes, you might roll off the throttle, but you're on the limiter, and you've got to pull the clutch to roll into there because your bike is still pushing forward. Your tick over is high. You know, it can be between 40, 45, 50 k's on tick over. So if you haven't got it absolutely right and the surface is wet and it's concrete, which is always slippery, the apron out the front of those pit boxes is always slippery anyway, and particularly when it's wet.
Some places like Catalonia, it's glass-like.
Yeah, we've seen Skittles, but they were Skittles in the line of the flow of the pit lane before. Now we're going to see Skittles directly aimed at team members in the garage, if someone gets it wrong. Just saying, as they say, hashtag.
I hate that hashtag.
So do I. That's why I did it.
Yes.
I know you do.
Carrying on your early morning, spoiling my Saturday morning by cranking my handle.
It wouldn't be Saturday morning without that, would it?
I know.
Look at the Castrol colours, to be positive.
Absolutely.
Don't they look beautiful?
It's amazing, isn't it, the response, the visceral response to British motorcycle racing fans, especially those of us of a certain age, Keith, to that livery on a racing Honda.
And having Aaron Slight in the middle of U2 yesterday, and Colin Edwards, of course, who ran that same livery, or pretty close to it.
Lots of Joey ran that livery. Dejira Kato, when we first saw him as a wild card, ran that livery in Japan on a 250.
Stick around, folks, for FP4. We're expecting to have Kevin Schwantz here in the commentary box, so stick around. The Texan.
Overdose of Texans this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully all our thoughts, by the way, are in Texas at the moment as well, because they're having that terrible weather that they've had over there. Somebody said to me this morning at breakfast, 25 inches of rain. I don't know how true that is. Someone could tell me on Twitter, I'm sure, but...
that's in Sink Island.
Well, certainly float a big boat. Now then, back to Danny Pedrovic, slowest, I'm going to call it. 1.5 seconds off top slot of Crutchlow. And where was he yesterday? Why was that? Has anybody picked it? Because I haven't been out to speak to anybody down in Repsol.
No, not a clue, I'm afraid. Not sure he put a soft in, but he's got softs in now, as you can see. But yesterday was 22-20. Warm.
You get the
perfect.
Feeling, you get the feeling softs are in at the moment because the track needs them. It's
absolutely
not quite ready for the harder time. Just seems his family's back there, but it looked like it was going over Houston. Is it going anywhere? Sorry, going over Austin. Is it going anywhere near Houston? Looks like it may have skirted the Edwards Emporium.
Glad to hear it.
Bit of a worry though.
It's indeed the top 10 in white on the caption on the left of your screen. Back to the FP3, Keith. You were saying earlier this is the vital session. Those are the men seeded through directly to the second and final qualifying session for the front half of the grid at the moment.
And all those times are from yesterday. There is no one going any faster at the moment anywhere out of the 23 riders that are out there, despite their best efforts. So it's going to be the end of this session. We've got, what, 10 minutes left of it. We are going to see a flurry towards the end. It's going to be a tricky one, this, George. You're going to have to stick your neck out. If you're outside that top 10 at the moment, how much do you stick your neck out to try and fit yourself through? The problem is, we're looking at this track on a monitor. It's deceiving. We can't really see, it's quite cold out there at the moment. Still, which is quite nice, there's no wind. But, of course, you've got no wind. It isn't drying either. You've got no flow across the top of it. This track normally, when the sun starts to peek out, dries pretty quick. But we're not seeing it.
It's just that little bit cool. There's quite a lot of cloud cover. You can see shadow under the bike.
Yeah, but you can see damp patches around here as well.
Absolutely. It's that horribly still treacherous. And if you're Danny Pedrosa, marooned well outside the top 10, Keith, sometime in the next 15-20 minutes...
Look at that damp patch offline. Yeah. And I tell you what, it looks dark as well. It's not an easy one to see when you're approaching it with it all waggling at 140 mile an hour. So it's a pretty tricky old track at the moment. You stick your neck out on this and it's going to bite you. This is where it bit him yesterday. There's a big old off all through this section of Beckett's all the way through here. It's all third gear. That's where they paint the curve out into the track to slow this left-hander down onto this hanger straight. If you notice it, it's a bit like they did at, various tracks.
Well, Austria being the one.
Yeah, a good one. But they just add a bit of paintwork so it's not as fast onto that back, because the runoff there is just a bit on the limit. It's okay. It's certainly okay now they've slowed it down, but into the slower section now as we get onto the international straight. We've got that big old wing on the right-hand side that we don't use because basically there's no room out the back for the infrastructure for MotoGP and all the support classes and all the other bits and pieces we bring with us. You would think, really, they would have ploughed a nice big paddock out the back there. That's why we use the national straight and the national pits. Here comes Dovi. No wings for those of you watching. The only man running the wings this weekend on Ducati is Lorenzo. He's the man that favours that downforce. It knocked another 7 or 8 mile an hour off the top end of his Ducati. It's got a lot of drag up high, the wings that they're having to run with. So it's only, late apex. Outside the Brooklyn suite to his right, and then the BRDC suite you will just about see, I would think, to the right-hand side any minute. There it is.
Looking at what times Danny Pedrosa's doing, he's doing 2 minute 10s, Keith.
Yeah, miles off.
Miles off.
Well,
Reading in 10th place is on a 201.9. Let's call that 202 for shorthand.
Which would put him where he is already, 10th on the pec rear, and a medium slick in the front for 45 Scott Redding. Pramac team, they were warming up with their karaoke machine last night. It's the big karaoke contest again tonight. Wonder if Gavin's going to be singing with Paolo Giabatti like he was the other week.
Yes, that was sort of thing.
And the rest of the corporates that you just don't need to spend time with.
I interviewed him on stage on Thursday, and of course I have to say, your test riders do it right, Bradley. Faster.
See, the fact that once this track dries up, soft tyres are only going to last a very short period of time. They're going to be needing them, though, for their allocation for qualifying later on today. Everything is live here on BT Sports.
lap of this session. Zarco's just done his best as well, 2:04.9.
My point, of course, is that to force an extra 4 seconds out.
Yeah,
it tends to get a little more hectic.
Exactly. And it is a big gap to upset the status quo.
205 mile an hour down this straight, hanger straight into Stowe corner. In free practice 2. He's the only man that's time from free practice 1 is being used in the cumulative.
Captain on the left there.
Yeah. So Redding, Scott Redding. I was reading something very briefly this morning. Cal Crutchlow scoring British riders. He gave himself a 6.
It's a bit mean.
Yeah, no, he says that he's made some mistakes and things haven't quite. But Cal is self-deprecating, isn't he? He's the kind of guy
self-critical in the
yeah,
extreme.
He's self-critical,
yes.
so that's fine. But he gave this guy 3. Take that on the nose, Scott.
Well, Scott has not had a good season. It's still.
Well, that's the thing about Cal.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get, pretty much.
And there was something Scott said in. I wasn't there, so I heard some. Not one of the social media questions. Scott made a barbed joke at the expense of Cal Crutchlow, so there's obviously a little bit of friction going on there as well.
Payback is best
kept for the track. But a little bit of needle here and there, always enlivened.
Sort of a payback. Troy Corser is here as well in the paddock. Saw Troy on the opening day of Champions on Thursday here.
I interviewed him on stage on Day of Champions.
Did he tell you then that he wants to go? He wants to race the 8 hour again. He thinks he's fast enough. He's still at the same weight, and he's keen to race the 8 hour again. And believe me, he was. Unless they had something to try, and of course, going back to what I said yesterday, a few laps in the. I'm sure we're going to see them out there because I don't think they're going to sit this whole session out.
They've got
they're going to go out
left.
Well, they're going to have to go out and have a feel for the track, aren't they? Surely.
And Rins has gone out.
Here's Bradley Smith about to be done by the doctor. Ooh, Bradley with a couple of dips on the front brakes there. I feel a bit for Bradley. He's one of our favourites. He's a very eloquent, very hard-working, tough young man. Still only 26 years old. I have to underline, if you care for those kind of things. I mean, he's still right in the zone age-wise. But I worry for him because it's tough in this paddock, and they will move him aside if he is not doing what they deem as the business. You only got to look at the Sam Lowe situation for a bit of underlining on that one.
It's brutal.
There is Iannone out, because I thought he would have to come out. Doctor not happy with everybody blocking his way, so I'm going to wait until he's got a bit of clear track.
There's the Rossi crew.
Best with Jorge.
Has he got the Diablo helmet again, or is that just a bit of new paintwork on the back I didn't notice before?
Listen to this. Oh, shame.
It's the old. Yeah. It is, as you say, it's the old Porfuera paint job.
Because he's got the sticker on the top that annoys the hell out of everybody. Why has he got that sticker on the top?
I suggest money might.
Yeah, might have something to do with it. Porfuera around the outside. New tyres then for Maverick. He's going to go for a time then.
For 5 minutes of the session left.
This is it. This is because the soft tyre is only going to last 3 or 4 laps tops. So this is it now. Cal Crutchlow runs around as well. So just about to start a hot lap.
Aleix Espargaro is going to stay the only man to sit the session out by the look of it.
Yep. That's why he's got the P alongside him on. Well, he's already in the top 10. There's no one. There's no one going to go that much faster than Aleix on 2:01.5. So he's quite happy with that. Maverick Vinales. This is Marc Marquez that we're on board with now. Medium. So he's gone for the happy medium rather than the soft.
Sort of so unlike him.
Well, it's either the hard or the soft, but tyre allocation as well. They've got to make their mind up, haven't they, regarding their tyre allocation, what they're going to be doing tomorrow. What's going to be left to work with.
Really interesting tail camera. In that left hand, you could see how it skated sideways across the track while it's turning. Really gave you a feel for it.
You get a feel for how ripply it is in places as well here. Love this camera that changes direction.
These are the innovations you were talking about earlier.
Yeah. Oh, short shifting it up past the BRDC suite there. It's all flat now down to the National Straight. Pits are on the right-hand side. Tito Rabat trying to get a bit of a toe from his compatriot.
That was a 2:03 flat by Tito just then.
Yeah, that's a good time.
That's a very good time.
In these conditions. Tito's had a few little flickers in this last couple of Grand Prix, hasn't he?
He really has, really, actually.
Oh, hang on a second, Jules. Tell you what.
Dear me.
He really does, doesn't he, Marc Marquez? He is spectacular to watch. Frightening, in fact.
Defies belief every time.
Faster times for them.
Folger was a 2:03.6. That seems to be where it is, Keith. It's mid-03s at the moment.
Coming to the last minute and 3/4 of FP3 here at Silverstone. Day 2 at the moment. Still doesn't go any faster than yesterday. The only man to go faster than his time yesterday is Bradley Smith, but he's still 23rd and stone last at the moment. Here's Zarco. Soft tyres all round for him. He's a bit of a magician on soft tyres, Zarco.
Very much so.
Did you see that backflip that he did?
Yes,
on
off the stage.
The Day of Champions. It's so high on a slope.
Onto a slope on the day before a Grand Prix starts.
Tell you what, Hervé Poncharal better not have been there either.
He'd have done his...
Zarco, look at that time. Look at that.
2:01.7. That's
unbelievable.
Quicker. That's quicker than yesterday.
Personal best, he goes, of the top runners. Right then.
Dolly's on a flyer.
He's now put the marker down. Everyone will know it's there if they want to try for it. And believe me, it's hard to do when the track isn't quite right.
Bradley Smith just on a 2:03.1.
Oh!
Scotty.
Just lost that and made his feet off the footrest. Didn't bring his head off the tank though. He was still going for it.
These are live pictures, and Dolly is starting a cracking lap.
Right
there.
behind Marquez. He's got himself slotted in with a Marc Marquez marker as they come to the line.
Gone away by half a second.
So, Dovizioso, keep an eye on him. It's gone away by half a second on his opening first sector. Got a soft in the rear, Dovizioso.
Almost as if Marquez was holding him up a little bit.
Looking back at him. Well, he might have been.
It's just a strange sentence to say, though, isn't it? I felt nervous about it.
Oh, here we go. Zarco has gone quicker. Folger's has gone quicker. Folger only 13th, though. Abraham.
But he's got one more lap.
He has, and he's going to need it because the checker flag is out now.
Zarco is on the move, out of our sight, but Zarco is on the best lap we've seen so far this weekend.
The Scott Redding gets knocked out of this top 10, really, at the moment, isn't it? He's right on the cusp. And with Zarco and Folger, the Tech 3 bike seemingly performing on this track as it is at the minute.
Flag is out, Keith.
Yeah, I said that. There it is, confirmation. Over the line goes Dobby, no faster lap for him. Zarco, Folger and Smith are the only 3 riders quicker in this session compared with the 2 of yesterday. Here's Zarco. Who's on the... I'm just looking to see if anybody's got anything going at the moment on our monitor here, Julian. I don't think there's any faster.
Going to see if Folger is continuing this run. Let's get Zarco over the line. He's 7th, stays 7th.
Oh, yeah, but another faster one for him. That's another personal best.
Another 10th off his time.
Pretty good.
Now Folger's gone into cruise mode.
Well, that lets Scott Redding off because he'll stay in the top 10, and this man must go through qualifying 1. Danny Pedrosa will be going through qualifying 1. Terrible day yesterday, and it ain't got any better today yet. 1.2 at the 3rd sector off. That's not going to be enough, I don't think.
Loris Baz gets a lap cancelled right at the end, but he's down in 16th. We'll have to go through Q1.
Jorge Lorenzo cruising round to the practice start area, but there goes Danny Pedrosa over the line. Only 18th.
Wow. Wow.
Bike change for Jorge Lorenzo. So they're going to be practicing this new bike change. Let's take a look at this then. So Jorge Lorenzo, we're looking here at Marc Marquez. They're going to roll it off for that stand in a moment. Here is Marquez. Maybe he's going to be practicing it as well. But that dashboard marker, still it's only Ducati who can text message their bike. Actually, that's not true. Throughout free practice and qualifying days, everyone can be text messaged. It's only on Sunday Ducati have been the ones that are authorised to use it.
And Aprilia as well, or have they not?
No, it's not on a
only
Sunday.
Ducati.
I don't think it's been authorised by them yet.
Right.
And if it's not been sanctioned by race control, they can't use it on a Sunday. They can use it the rest of the week, is my understanding. So practice start's done. Let's see then. We're going to have a bike swap scenario from Jorge.
Danny Pedrosa went through Q1 in Austria, didn't he?
He's not having a good time in...
No.
I mean, you can still do it by going through
podium.
Q1. Indeed, you can still do it through Q1. And you get an extra tyre now. It wasn't as critical as it used to be, where you ran out of tyres, effectively.
It's just as embarrassing if you're a factory rider.
There's got to be reasons for why that happened yesterday. I don't believe that was I don't believe Danny Pedrosa was 17th fastest yesterday without a good reason. Well, hey, watch for this then. He comes in, parks the bike, hop, skip and a jump, and away he goes. That's how it's supposed to be. There was no lollipop man, you see. The lollipop man's there, but the way he was holding the lollipop, he wouldn't have been able to see it, Jorge Lorenzo. They never quite practice with full commitment.
Yeah.
That's the bit that kind of seems strange to me. The lollipop man should have had that right in his eye line.
Yep.
And
So
Jorge,
this is what you're going to see, Jorge.
yeah,
Get on the bike.
Just let's see if
Yeah.
now these lot do it well. Repsol, that team is more regimented. They seem to be more strict in their practicing.
This is factory Honda.
Yeah, but that was a factory Ducati.
I know.
You were just,
I am just
Here we go. Look,
drawing-
there's the lollipop
Yep.
man. He's right in the eye line. This is how it actually should be done. Look at that. Miles better. Brilliant. And they did a proper practice.
Yeah.
You know, that's a proper practice.
And with a pirouette on the left leg from Marc Marquez. Just
Yeah,
to,
well, he's going to perfect jumping from one bike to the other without touching the ground. You can be sure.
with a twist. Otherwise, you'll be facing the wrong way.
We're going to look up gymnastics terminology now, aren't we?
Oh dear.
Just for qualifying. So that's it. Free practice 3, and a bit of a disaster for the other Repsol Honda man of Danny Pedrosa. Only 18th after all of that. Is the doctor going to do a practice? I wonder. We're going to find out in a moment. But it is Crutchlow that remains on top.
Do I draw anything from the fact that both of the Tech 3 boys improved? Here you go. Here's how to do it properly, as you said.
Yeah, brilliant. Tell you what, it's not intuitive, is it? Because you've got to change legs as you swing round. It's a very difficult manoeuvre to make. And you've got to grab the clutch, and you've got to put it in gear.
And the point is that you made earlier, they've thought about it. They've worked out the most efficient, quickest way to do it.
Now, Honda do a good job.
Well, Marc Marquez, when we first had bike changes, it was only Marc Marquez that seemed to take it seriously. Valentino regards it as a strange quirk that doesn't.
Well, it didn't happen that often, did it, in the early days
no.
of flag to flag? We didn't see that many bike swaps, and I think they've become a very... When you give away, like this man did the other week, 30 seconds through, you know, the amount of millions of dollars it costs to get 30 seconds out of a motorbike.
Even if Marc Marquez's leap from bike to bike saves three-quarters of a second, half a second, how much money is that?
Yeah, on a lap time, you...
And bore you for a moment. I can hear Terry Reimer talking. In laps and out laps, that's where the amateurs lose. You would know about it.
You're not going to be slack on your in lap, and you're not going to be slack on your out lap.
Precisely.
That's where a huge amount of time is lost.
Oh, you're giving away hard-earned time.
I don't think that was a...
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But Scott, as you say, is 10th fastest. He goes direct to Q2.
He needs a special kind of British Grand Prix. He's had them in the past on Moto2, of course.
And on a 125 when he became at Donington Park the youngest ever Grand Prix winner. A record that will stand.
I love the way Danny, he's got them all sitting well back in there. It's like being at school. He's like a lecturer. Everyone else huddles in, don't they? Gets right tight in on it. But
Danny, you feel bad about invading his space.
Yeah, you would think that more about Jorge, wouldn't you?
Jorge would tell you.
So Danny Pedrosa, difficult couple of days here at the British Grand Prix to start with, and by the look on his face, it ain't over.
And he said he doesn't dislike this track, but it's never been a good track for him particularly, and it's continuing in that. Now this...
Yeah, that's what we want to see. That's what we want to see later on today. Cal Crutchlow on pole. And you can't discount him from it at all here. That bike's working for him. He looked good on it yesterday. Rossi and Viñales. Aleix Espargaro didn't go out. Marc Marquez got himself off the floor yesterday to go Agustus in there. Jonas Folger improved his time, but still outside of the top 10.
Going further down, Keith, as you say, Danny Pedrosa not on our caption yet. 18th quickest.
There he is. Jack Miller, Hector Barbara, Tito Rabat, Bradley Smith and Sam Lowes. Bradley going quicker than he did, but Sam still had a bit of an off yesterday, Sam, but you get that when you're trying as hard as you are. So that's how it looks then. After free practice 3, we're live all day for everything here from Silverstone. Stay with us, won't you? We've got a change of commentary team.